Nioh 2, a game so nice they released it twice. But if you believe our recent poll, nobody was excited to see it coming to PC. And I get it. This is a game meant for casual players such as myself, and I'm sure most of you would prefer a real game, such as Garfield Kart Furious Racing. Truly, a magnum opus that will never be surpassed. But for those of us who can't keep up with the competitive scene of Garfield Kart, let's take a look at Nioh 2 and enjoy the relaxing gameplay to unwind after a long day. So what is it? Well, it's got a lock-on system and melee combat, which is the industry standard for a Souls-like game. If you don't know what Dark Souls is, then don't worry. It's a very fun and relaxing game. Anyone can beat it, trust me. The story puts you in the middle of Japan's Warring States period. You'll be taking part in many historical events as you try to achieve your goals. For those who don't care about the story or history, that's okay. All you need to know is there's something with a really big health bar, and it's your job to fix that. Now, what are your options for making things unalive? Well, you've got a variety of choices. 11 melee weapons, 3 ranged weapons, ninja tools, and magic paper. We don't have time to go through all of that in this video. The combinations of all these elements, along with others not yet explained, are still being debated and argued to this very day. There are many strong meta builds, but if I can make a suggestion, just try out all the weapons when you start. No matter what you pick, it can be made viable to get you through the entire game, except hatchets. If you're not sure where to start, allow me to offer a few tips that should come in handy for any build. No matter what weapon you pick, it is vital to invest in magic and ninjutsu. Magic gives you elemental damage, buffs, and debuffs that can make any enemy easy. For example, applying purification and a key recovery buff lets you ignore slowed recovery in the yokai realm and revokes an enemy's key privileges, so they never get a turn to attack. Ninjutsu is an even bigger meme, mainly because paralysis is a funny status effect. Also, if you have a hard time staying alive, get the quick change scroll. It's a super fun skill that lets you prank your enemies. Whenever you apply it and your HP runs out, you tell them, haha, just kidding, up to 4 times. But, yeah, that fifth time's for real. Play around with your points and don't worry about wasting them. If you think you've messed up your character, just read a book. Switch away from that string being dex build and go pure strength to get those gains you always dreamed of. Aside from getting the right weapons and skills, tactics will also play a big part in staying alive. We don't have enough time to cover everything, so leave any questions you have in the comments below. Maybe we'll make a video on them. But here's a few tips to get you started. 1. Sometimes you'll have one-on-one duels, and it's extremely important that you fight honorably. Personally, I find the most honorable start to the duel is firing a salute with a hand cannon, preferably a heat round, into their head for maximum effect. And if your opponent happens to fall on the ground, make sure you give them a helping hand. 2. You may be tempted to remove all your armor to get those sweet invincibility frames. And sure, it's nice, especially with dual blades, adding extra frames. But if you want to ignore enemy attacks and continue stun locking them forever, wear heavier armor. With the right combination, you can stay in the normal weight class and also get the highest toughness rank, with the added bonus of not being 2 hits away from death at any moment. I hate counting, so here's the last one. Confusion. If you've played the first game, then this is nothing new to you. If you apply 2 elemental status effects to an enemy at the same time, confusion is triggered. It increases your damage dealt and prevents ki from recovering, allowing you to stun lock the enemy into oblivion. Now let's wrap things up. The PC port was admittedly a bit shaky at the beginning, but even the few issues I had noticed were patched just recently, like frame drops when doing too many hits, are now fine. Some bosses may be extremely frustrating, and while multiplayer is a coin toss of who you can get, no matter who you're facing, when you have 3 people ganging up on the boss, it's gonna lead to a really funny, really cheesy victory. If you've made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. There's a lot more content planned for the future, so stay tuned.